There's no way to describe her, other than my angel. At my lowest point, she offered me a place to stay, even though I had no money. Due to certain circumstances, I was left homeless. When I told her it'd be impossible for me to pay for rent, she just looked back at me and smiled, telling me I'd return the favor someday. Although we'd been friends since we were kids, even I was shocked at her generosity. It felt like she wasn't just doing this out of the goodness of her heart, but I was so desperate that I just accepted it anyways. When I first moved in, I didn't know how she could afford such a nice place by herself. Whenever I asked her about her job, she would just smile at me and tell me she was a streamer. But whenever I searched up her name, no results ever appeared. There's no way she could have been making enough money purely off of streaming, so it made me wonder if she had any side gigs. We had grown up together, so I knew that her parents weren't rich. In fact, they had a family-owned restaurant with the best dinner in town. Also, Angel only streamed in the mornings, so for the rest of the day, we were pretty much inseparable. That's how I was certain that she wasn't doing any other jobs. For the most part, she was a great roommate. She brought me clothes, washed her own dishes, and even cooked all our meals. Her one rule was that I should never, ever enter the basement, under any circumstances. She insisted on streaming in the basement, and really wanted me to respect her privacy. At first, I felt as if she had given up her office space for my bedroom, and offered to sleep in the basement instead. That was the first time she seemed genuinely upset with me, insisting that I shouldn't think so low of myself. To be honest, it frightened me a bit. I always prowled for more answers from her, but she would never budge. However, every morning, after she finished streaming, all the kitchen utensils would be sparkling clean, and her apron would be ironed without a wrinkle on it. Angel was by no means a clean freak, and no other part of the house was as spotless as those specific items. So it led me to believe that she was a cooking streamer. When I brought this theory up to her, her facial expression twisted into a smile, almost like she was holding back an uncontrollable laugh. That's when she told me I was completely correct. But for some reason, it just didn't feel right to me. Then, she leaned across the table, lightly tapping my hand, and told me that she'd like to cash in that favor. I was super excited at the idea of finally being debt-free, so of course I agreed. She told me to come to dinner, wearing my favorite dress. I thought it was an odd request, but I really need to repay her for everything she'd done for me. So that night, I walked down the stairs in my favorite dress and found the dining room only lit up with candles. I approached the table, and there were already 2 plates set up for each of us on opposite ends of the table. I really questioned how else would be doing her a favor. Shouldn't I have been the one to make dinner at least? I thought, taking a sip of the wine. I sat down in my chair and waited for Angel to come in. Once I heard heels clicking on the floor, for some reason, my heart felt like it was about to stop. When we made eye contact, she was smiling. Then, it slowly turned into an uncontrollable laughter. That's when I realized there was a camera behind her, recording everything I'd been doing. Before I had any time to think about it, my head hit the table. When I woke up, I instinctively knew I was in the basement. Although my hands were bound, they started shaking from fear. A headache crept up my neck, and my horror slowly turned into despair as I realized she was streaming this entire thing. I'd been a fool this entire time. Not once did I think to ask her what she streamed on. I was searching up on the wrong website Angel didn't use a stereotypical streaming website, nor was she cooking normal dishes. She was cooking people for the dark web.